to
My
20.
cough.
What was it? You were going to leave your cup wet. Come on.
Oh, I'll try to keep my coughing to a
Oh,
minimum on the
yes.
mic.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate that one.
no dying on stream, please.
No dying on stream. So, hey everybody, welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. My name's Casey. As you have heard, we are suffering some attrition here. We've got one player down for the count at the moment. We've got some coughing and sniffling going on around because apparently illness is contagious even through virtual stuff. So, hope everybody's out there feeling good. Also want to shout out a quick welcome to the newer-ish member of the 20 Sides group, Beatrix. I hope I said it right for you there, Alex. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Happy to have her on board. Looking forward to another Chaos Munchkin rolling dice and so on. So congratulations out there, and looking forward to seeing you back and playing once that all settles down. But at the moment, we've got some players making their way through Vecna's Eve of Ruin. They have successfully navigated a shipwreck in the Astral Sea. They have defeated really nasty monsters out there and have now returned. Some of the things they brought back with them have faded away as being made of force and thought. Others have hung around. One of those that did hang around was the second part of the rod of multi-parts that they need. That is now leading them towards the plain of Eberron, specifically towards the Mournlands, and even more specifically towards a mountainous area within it. A little bit of research has been done, a little bit of shopping has been done, some recovery has been done, and such things, and that's where I kind of want to pick back up. Telovere, whose screen is dark at the moment, went seeking tea and perhaps a little time with Yumi to check in on how all that's going. So they're off doing that. If we head to the Mournlands ahead of time, Telovere, Minavere, and Teletar will join us as we catch up there. But for everybody else, give me a quick recap. You've had somewhere between 7 to 10 days here. What have you all been doing to advance your own theories? Who wants to volunteer to give me a quick synopsis of the last 7 to 10 days for your characters?
I've been trying to fundraise for a crystal longsword.
There has been some fundraising going on, and as we were just coming online, I think there was a little loan sharking as well. A little smidget, a soupçon.
Yeah, we'll talk about the VIG later.
You got it. Anybody else have anything that they want to call out that their characters have been up to for the last couple of days?
Las-Dal would have gone out, got a couple healing potions, and searching for rare book. He remembers he has some forgiveness to still get, so he's trying to find the right item for that.
Absolutely.
And he's contemplating whether or not he's going to sell the rod that they found after coming back out of the great beast's gullet.
Absolutely. Have fought and defeated one of the largest creatures in the Astral Sea and taken some loot and plunder for having done so. Anybody else want to throw down what they've been up to?
I think Loktar is experiencing Sigil. You might ask Fortune if he's willing to give him a little bit of a tour at first and then perhaps go his own way and begin proselytizing / seeking alternate paths of worship because the deities have been so ornery.
So on that note, Loktar, give me a quick religion check, because there's something about Sigil.
Could he have advantage because he's with Fortune, who has done some exploration in Sigil at this point?
Okay, sounds fair. Let's go religion with advantage.
But for somehow Las-Dal is behind them singing "Losing My Religion."
So religious.
Okay, so religious. So first of all, officially, no gods are allowed in Sigil. That doesn't mean that you can't know about gods and occasionally talk about gods, but gods are not allowed to visit Sigil. The Lady of Pain wants to be the top of the food chain. It stops with her. No one else is allowed near. In fact, the target of your pursuits here, Vecna, once got himself in a little bit of trouble for turning himself into a god and then trying to raid Sigil. Took a band of adventurers and the Lady of Pain herself to kick that lich to the curb, but he is back again. So as you go out seeking information, what you probably come away with, and you're able to kind of contextualize it yourself, not so much religions here as philosophies, ways to think and groupings of that sort. And there's several very distinct factions, and they're all actively trying to recruit you while trying to keep you away from the others. So you get pulled in a couple of directions as you're out there. Basically, they see fresh meat
Okay.
and they're like, hey, it's recruitment time. Come on over. We've got pamphlets and cookies. And the other ones are like, no, brownies over here. One of them's like, oh, we're the cakers from down below.
He would be eager to hear them out and see what their arguments are for why theirs is best or better than the others and all that stuff.
Absolutely. So
I'm sure it's a lot to go into here.
Yeah, we're not going to dive into it now, but basically you're coming back with like, college freshman 101 philosophies of each of the different factions, and there's some wild ideas going on around here. Fortune's probably doing a good enough job, and with the 21 there, to get you out of trouble as they start being like, no, just come down this dark alley. We'll talk to you all about it. Have a sip. It's Kool-Aid. And you're like, no, now it's time to move on.
It is Kool-Aid, but it's also poisoned.
It's also poisoned.
The coward's weapon.
Really? From
Someone
Skikarat's
call
follower?
acid damage pretty cowardly. Like, just trying to melt everything.
I guess.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Shots fired.
Little zingy zing there.
How long do you think you do this, Loktar? Like, going around with Fortune here?
Oh, however long he sticks around. I mean, he was seeking replacements for the items that were lost, and he did manage to find, thanks in part to a loan from Las-Dal, a belt of giant strength to replace the one that was lost or taken from him.
I like that it was lost or taken from him. Those were the two options that were presented for this story. Well done. Well done. Montgomery, anything? I know you did a little bit of visiting to the other planes. What has Montgomery been up to?
He picked up a couple more potions of greater healing himself. And while he was resting back at home, he was going to try and research whatever he could find on Eberron.
Sure.
So in case once we get there, maybe he'll have a chance at a roll or something.
Sounds good. So let's start off with that. On Eberron, would you be more thinking about the history of the place, the peoples that you would find there, or the effects on the magic? Kind of three paths to pursue. Which one would you be aiming towards?
Yeah, effects on the magic.
Okay, give me a quick Arcana check there, and we'll start that conversation off.
And for after that, Fortune would probably be doing his usual tracking down maps for Eberron if he can find any.
Sounds good. So, as you're getting this research together, Montgomery, what you're able to find is a lot of the research for Eberron is going into probably what you would identify as artificer effects. So a lot of clockworks, a lot of machinery, a lot of war machines, and the culmination of that would probably be either considered the Warforged themselves, effectively a new race of creatures that were created by the mages of Eberron, or the Colossi. From where you're at on the Sword Coast, you might associate the Colossi with similar to the walking statues of Waterdeep, if I've got my history correct here. Giant creations that are able to move about and fight on their own, but these seem like they are more mechanical in nature, more of the gnomish tinkering sort of aspects. During the fights in Eberron, the area that you are most likely traveling to was destroyed almost completely in an event known as the Day of Mourning. That effect has caused distortions in reality similar to wild magic. Distances are inconsistent. The plane seems to almost be having trouble holding itself together in that what one person might walk in an hour, another might take 4, with no real noticeable reasoning behind it. Divination spells have a lot of trouble affecting in that area, as do teleportation. You are able to identify, and Illustrial's portal would confirm, near the area that you're heading, there is a singular circular portal that any teleportation attempts is forced to this location. So the mages during the war, in order to prevent attacks and so on, have funneled all of the teleportation destinations down to this one highly contested at the time location, and that is where you would be showing up as you entered through the portal there. That was a big data dump. Any follow-ups or questions in on that set?
Is it
yeah.
only teleportations into this plane, or is it like the astral thing where anytime someone does any type
Any attempt
like Misty
to
Step or something?
any attempt to teleport is likely to land you next to this beacon.
Oh wow,
I
could be
will-
good, I guess, or bad.
I guess Fortune would probably inquire a bit as to whether or not his psychic teleportation would have the similar effect.
Give me a quick Arcana to see if you can suss that out without being there to experiment.
Sounds good. Nope. Unless a 10 will do it.
You would certainly want to try it once before you got there.
Before we got to.
You would want to try it once before it was important to you.
So like when we get there, give it a quick test.
Yeah, while we're next to the beacon, anyways.
Got it. So that would kind of be the overview on the magics of the area. I think some of you may have known Warforged or had contacts with some of them from your background, so you've probably heard that the Warforged themselves are a new species. So they don't have a ton of history, and they are seeking their reason for being. They don't seem to have a creator myth to set as a lodestone. So there is a fair bit of confusion out there. Some are continuing the path of war. Some have gone the other direction towards peace. A lot are in the middle. So that's kind of the Warforged themselves. And then the peoples of the land, all over the place. In the Mournland itself, if you can get out, you probably have already. So warlords and refugees and unfortunates are kind of the folks you might expect. I would say Tasha is probably one of the resources that's weighed in on this one. Having traveled some of the plains herself and maybe dabbled in a little bit of Eberron's lore and magic. She's recovered most of the way from her exhaustion. Mordenkainen has already headed out to start to do some research. Illustrial's been working to recover from the loss of a lot of her instruments and utilities. And they're all working to track down, once you've acquired this rod, we have it to weaken Vecna. We have the chime as the plan. How can we locate him? Because his location is still guarded at this point. We do not know where he is. And Tasha's sort of saying, I'm looking into him. Many of my routes for research are a bit abyssal in origin, so it's best to be in top form when interviewing them. But I've made a few calls on those who are already in my debt. Was there anything else that we could do for you? Unfortunately, and she looks over to where the cabinet, still some glitter in there, some of the resources are a bit limited.
Just if you have any maps of Eberron.
And on that, well, if I understand properly, they won't be of much help. Much like the Feywild is, Eberron is a changing land. The area you're heading to has a singular feature, Mount Ironrot, which rises up. But all distances beyond that tend to shift a bit, so what might be east of a town one day could be west the other.
That is good to
Well,
know.
we'll make it interesting to find.
At least there's one focal point we can look to.
As long as we're not chasing our tail.
What? Oh, yes. Thought it got away from me.
As you track that one down. Well, if there's nothing else, the portal awaits you, should you wish to explore.
Would
Let's
you like
go.
us to pick you anything up?
Perhaps a part of the rod.
Aside from accomplishing that goal, there's nothing that leaps immediately to mind. I don't believe much in the Mournlands is edible. And I would think anything worthy of salvage has already been, but should you see a bit of lore, I'm always open. Always ready to add another page to my book.
Very good.
So keep our eyes open. And Fortune will yell and wave to Redbud in the back garden of their home before heading out.
He just sort of creaks his good luck.
Keep an eye on things here.
He's slowly just like tilts his head looking around.
I made sure he was planted to face like the building and not like a wall where he'd just have no view.
Sounds good. And with that said, let's go ahead and bring us down to a big map here. Big map. It should all
I've been
go
told that
dark.
many of these Warforged are also made of wood.
Yes, you have heard that. And as it all goes dark,
Very dark here.
it is very, very dark here.
Who turned out the lights?
It's all dark forever.
Las-Dal's
Oh.
afraid of the dark.
Speaking of dark, also the past week or two, because been walking around with a blindfold on whenever he can, but when he bumps into something, he kind of lifts it up and peek. The rest of the time, he just practice it. He wants to learn to live without his deity's gifts, should things go that way.
Are you training in blind fighting? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
His deities are going to take away his sight.
Yeah, they might. They don't seem to smile upon him with much favor as of late.
See, that's
He doesn't
why...
want to rely on them too much.
See, you may bring Havoc back with this weapon here. You may have a god, you're starting, maybe he's number one pupil.
These are all things.
Yes, he is
that
in
they're
need
trying.
of followers, I think. It is nice to be wanted.
So, as the party makes their way through, stepping through the fairly small portal, maybe 8 to 9 foot tall, they find themselves emerging from a 20-foot tall vertical black oval made of glass. It sits on muck atop a low hill. The oval reflects the surrounding mist-shrouded landscape with supernatural clarity. It looks like a giant mirror, but as you're seeing your associates emerge, you can see that it is indeed a door between here and Sigil. Around you, you can see in the distance an enormous metal figurine collapsed.
Iron Man.
Ah,
I meant
the
Iron
Warforged is-
Giant.
it's much larger than I imagined.
It is quite large. If distance is being true at the moment, you would put yourself at maybe the size of one of its fingers. But everything is a little wrong looking as you try and focus through the mist and judge distance there. The river is too narrow and too wide at the same time as it flows past. Mist coming off the ground obscures it, just having trouble focusing in on it. Everywhere you look, even those of you with nearly supernatural survival skills, that ground seems to be almost shifting as it fights to maintain. Those of you who are magically sensitive, you can feel the pressure in this area of great magics that have worked and gone awry. As you settle in,
Do any of you see that mountain of which Tasha spoke?
Yeah, looking around for Mount Iron Rock here.
the mountain you can
And I
see.
can't.
Good.
Oh, I was gonna say I can now psychic whispers the whole party, but there's only 4 other people, so that doesn't matter for this one.
So we're going to call the north and east corner Mount Ironrot as it ascends up into the sky.
Do we want to check it out?
Well, does the rod? I mean, we're looking for the Mournlands.
So the rod, as you're holding the piece and trying to focus on it, it seems to be having trouble with the distortions, and it's pulling you left, then right, then a little forward, and then almost even behind you. It can't seem to focus now that you're in this area.
So, like, if I held it out like dowsing rods, they would just.
They're crossing each way. They go this way, they go that way.
I guess we should try and find a settlement. Surely there's people who live around a giant, weather-absorbing Warforged. And I
Surely.
will Fortune will step away from the party, and he's going to just test the teleportation real quick with his psychic dagger.
You got it. As you test your teleportation,
Where do you land?
oh, there are things. One moment.
Better not go off on your own.
Oh, I wouldn't do that, would I? I might a little. Come on.
Oh,
Where's the button?
So it would be 90 feet ahead is what he would teleport.
Okay. And for some reason, the roll that I need is hiding from me. So can I get a Constitution saving throw from you?
Absolutely. That's definitely a fail.
Definitely a fail. Okay. Um,
What does the D10 roll do when you do
It determines the distance that I teleport with it.
You teleport where you are expecting to. So you do move in that direction. But as you look back, it seems that you did not travel as far as you thought you would. You said, hey, I'm throwing this to the range out to 90 feet. When you get there and you look back, you're maybe only 45 feet away from your friends.
Okay. So it seems like our constitution has some kind of. So I kind of feel a little bit sick or something and not fully the way there, or how would that kind of play out?
I don't know if you've ever tried, if you've ever, you've done this a lot. So I would say at some point in the past, you've probably tried to throw and move into an illusion or onto something that's moving quickly. Like if you were trying to, throw and go, catch up to a stagecoach. In the time that you had thrown, it had moved, and there's a weird disturbance there. It's almost instant when you jump with your dagger, but for this case, it seemed like you were gone for a little bit and then popped back.
Okay. Yeah, thought I got a bit more distance on that one, but the land itself seems to be kind of moving with us. We're all on a treadmill of sorts.
You're gonna have to walk twice as far.
Or possibly half as far. I think it depends on where the world's, what direction it's moving, according to what Tasha was saying as well.
Perhaps we may observe the sands and see which way they blow before stepping.
And on that note, as I think you mentioned, you were just kind of eyeing up that there might be people, sheltering in or around the Colossus. Can I get 2d4 from someone?
We'll roll some d4s.
Yeah.
Total of 5.
5. So your best guess is it'll take you about 5 hours to get there. And so that would put it somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 miles or so away. Can I get a survival check from whoever is going to be leading their way through the Mournlands?
Fortune would definitely offer to handle the leading here. Oh.
I figure also looked. Sorry, I didn't mean to
That's all right.
jump again.
No problem. So the two of you, as you
That's
make
it.
your way through,
We both like to lead.
you're both leading in slightly different directions. But you are able to cross the distance, and as you look back, it's weird. Some spots you went a little faster than you thought, some spots a little slower, but overall you're making it at about the 5-hour mark. Once you're close enough that you're able to get a better look at this thing, what was once a massive bipedal war machine made of stone, metal, and wood now lies in ruins. Fragments of a mechanical titan lie scattered around, each individual piece as big as a barn. It's clockwork gears, so familiar to some of you. You've at least been through the Water Clock Guild's areas, so you've seen such things. But it's too big. There's no way that you can say that this would support itself without magical reinforcement and materials beyond what's used in simple construction. Do any of you have tinkering, engineering, artificing, any of those type of skills?
Negative.
No.
No problem.
I
So
would probably smash whatever I was on accident.
no
Like if the
trouble at
Hulk
all.
was trying to
Like-
put in a watch battery.
Boss thought may have
Destroy.
tried to read up a little bit on some of that stuff after getting that cog from the water area, but he wouldn't be a tinkerer.
No problem. So, as you're kind of making your way through and you reach the Colossus, more of the mist is able to be seen through. A little bit back and ahead to the north, there's a camp. Further ahead to the north, another of the Colossi. But before we get to do any of that, could I have someone roll me a d20? You would like probably not to see a 1 or a 2.
Sure, I can roll that. God.
A 3.
Yeah, you said 3 was okay.
3 was okay. So as you're moving off in the distance, you see a little trail of dust and debris being kicked up as something moves through the scenery ahead of you. It's moving wrong. You're accustomed to, creatures and how they move, how the muscles move. This is rotating in a bad way, and seems to be cutting into the ground as it goes. Depending on how much time you spent in Sigil, you might have seen some Modrons and other things moving around, or beasts with odd forms of locomotion. This one, however, had just seemed to throw the whole make it like a creature out the window. It's just moving wrong. Even abyssal creations and abominations don't move like this.
Any of you seen something like that? Looks like something we want to avoid.
I haven't seen anything like that.
Mm-mm.
That's new to me, and I'm getting the bad vibe off that.
Very creepy. There's no one, like, we don't really see any signs of people around the Colossus. It's mostly just the debris.
Ooh, good question. How about a survival check?
How about a 30?
That's pretty good. So there are indeed tracks around the area. You can see 2 sets, or rather 2 groups that have been here. One seemed to be humanoid tracks. The boot prints sort of match what you would expect. The other are deeper and angular. Looks like they would have belonged to a heavy bipedal creature.
I think it would feel like a natural conclusion to jump to that it was either some kind of warforged or some form of constructed humanoid, like a golem or something.
Oh yeah, you would definitely take that away from it. From the one that has the deeper tracks, where you can clearly see, kind of the angular boot print there. They're traveling between the colossi. You can see that they came in here, they did a loop, they were inspecting things, and then they moved off. The smaller prints are a bit more random. Like they were meandering aimlessly. They might have been looking for something, but you don't see a purpose to it.
Can I check just to, like, while following these tracks, if it looks like something might have been recently taken?
Ooh.
Like if they were, when they were doing their little search, if they, took a piece of it or something and left
Sure. How
some kind
about
of fresh etchings.
an investigation check?
If you say something out loud, I'd give you an assist on that.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
I'd actually probably ask you, Las-Dal, since you tend to be our investigator. Hey, Las-Dal, I'm following these what looks like some kind of nomads or someone who travels between these colossi, and curious if they were doing anything specific here. I can't quite tell. I can just kind of follow their tracks.
And see if there's any newer scratch marks or anything looks like it's newer disconnections.
Sure.
Do you want to roll with me, or do you want me to have advantage?
I think you with advantage sounds good here.
$23.
23. And just as a reminder for scale, the little red dot down there by the finger is a person. Little red dot's a person.
We can climb this thing.
You can climb this thing. You could live inside this thing. And basically, that's what you're starting to do as you inspect, where those angular boot prints have gone. They did indeed walk over to the leg. They did climb into it. And it looks as though something was removed from the upper part of the torso. You can see that there are some scuff marks. It looks as though some care was taken removing it. So you don't see bent, twisted, the way I would get something out. You see the way that a professional would have done that. Some care was put into the extraction.
Something that's probably going to be reused instead of ripped out and sold as junk.
Or at least respectfully done. Don't know if there's maybe some custom to how you handle
possible.
these.
Yeah.
Could it be cannibalism? Perhaps another of these creatures requires those parts.
I guess that would be cannibalism. Kind of. Probably don't say that to them, though. That might not be a good way to phrase anything like that. I
They
mean,
probably look at us weirdly since we can't do that to help each other out.
true. So
You'd be like,
there's
"What,
this.
you can't, yank an arm off and slap it on another one, and they'll be all right."
Well, I've never tried, but yeah, I don't think that would work.
No, I don't think so. My medicine's not that good, but I don't think it would work well.
Maybe with Teletar Minivere. Mm-hmm. Just in case we ever need to perform surgery. Anyways, so they may have gone inside. It does look like it had to look like they had left as well. I believe, like they had kind of continued traveling to the next Colossus. And then you said to the north there was a what looks like a little camp or small town, essentially
Yep.
collection of tents.
You got it. So where you're at, it would be kind of east northeast. It would have been north from the original oval that you came out of.
Well, what do you all think? I'd love to stay here and kind of check this Colossus out, but getting information is probably more important than as he kind of looks around, very excitable, like his tail kind of full on snapping back and forth. As amazing as it would be to explore this world.
I would like to reanimate it if we could, but
I bet you a lot of people
I know
would.
nothing of such things.
It could be your new god. Like Xenoblade. Right, that's the one where they live on robots, right?
Yeah. Very true.
And I think maybe on cue, as we start talking about if they could be your god, one of you spots moving along one of the ridges, a little up and out of the muck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monks, pilgrims. They have that sort of look about them with the robes and everything.
Just appearing like
Just off in the
What a-
distance.
Are they headed toward us?
Nope, just moving along, single file. A little ridge in the land has kind of put them up and in your view.
Are they moving towards the town?
They are currently headed east, but it's real hard to tell where anything is going here.
I got you.
They move single file to disguise their numbers. Shall we engage?
In conversation?
Yes.
Hmm.
Conversation.
Conversation.
Let's do it. Lost-Dal, do you
Uh,
mind putting on your fanciest charms as always?
As Fortune is saying that, I go, "Hello."
As you call out hello, they turn to look towards you. The image I'm about to display is what their physical forms under the robes look like. They are not in the current action pose that you're about to see. So no sword, no rushing toward you effect. But the creatures that look towards you seem to be almost armor in feature. There's wood, there's some stone and metal built to them, glass-like eyes, features that are kind of stamped in, engraving. That's mostly covered in robes at the moment. And as they look towards you, one breaks out of the file. Their coloring is purplish in nature, so the metal that they're created from has sort of a purple effect towards it. Oh, greetings. How can we help you?
We're new travelers to these lands, and we're hoping if you could give us some assistance.
Ah, we would be happy to offer assistance, for I am Mercy.
Mercy, it's a pleasure to meet you.
And you,
I am Las-Dal.
Las-Dal. What do you seek here in the Mournlands?
Ancient item, actually. I'll minor illusion piece of the rod that we believe it the shape and coloring it should be.
Ah, I have seen no such item in my travels. We are seeking meaning.
Hmm.
Do you enjoy seeking meaning?
We do not know entirely. We have not found it yet. We have been gathering what seems meaningful to us, but we are not yet full.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I know how that feels. That's what life is.
What have you gathered thus far?
If it's not too much for us to ask, we apologize for being so forward. We're curious adventurers.
We are gathering that which provided meaning and guidance, docence, from the colossi.
I apologize. I've never seen colossi before. What is docents?
A docent is a sphere 2 inches in diameter. It is made with dragon shard, and it provides guidance to the colossi and seems to have meaning to us pilgrims.
Hmm. And what do you do once you find one of these docent?
We have been gathering them at a place to commune.
So you all kind of travel around and then return to essentially one central base to collect this guidance in hopes that it will provide meaning.
Yes.
Kelemvor can provide you meaning.
What
Fortunately,
is
he's
Kelemvor?
You've not heard of Kelemvor?
Oh, here we go.
No. What is a Kelemvor?
He's a deity. I can't believe you haven't heard of him.
What
He's the
is
Lord of the Dead. He's the
Warforged
great
do not
guide.
die?
But you said he's the great guide.
Yeah.
Perhaps he is good at guiding people to find meaning.
Meaning.
Yes, can Kellenvor help these metal men to find their docent?
I think Kelemvor can help you, Loktar.
I
There's a lot that can help
I
Loktar.
do not seek this docent.
Is there any apologize for taking up so much of your time, but
It is not a concern. We do not
They
age.
got plenty of it. Yeah.
well, it's nice that you're so patient. It's very appreciated.
How do you
Uh,
reproduce?
Okay, as you do not know where the
Holding
device
back
we're looking
laughter.
at, yeah. Do you know where we could perhaps commune with a great deal of others to perhaps gain more information for this object we're looking for?
You should visit Ialos, the town.
The one on the river?
And they sort of look and try to like guide your eyes. Ialos is located here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, even further.
Got a cool
Oh,
wing
I see.
now.
The camp that you refer to is inhabited by survivors of the war, veterans from Siren.
Are they friendly?
The veterans watch. There are others who are aggressive. They follow the Lord of Blades.
Lord of Blades?
The Lord of Blades. And that was
Sound-
the second group follows the Lord of Blades.
Not by the
Uh,
veterans, but the other ones.
Yep.
Correct. Yep.
An impressive moniker.
Do those people have their own town or camp, or are they nomads?
The Lord of Blades does not dwell here, but
Oh,
his
look like Kelemvor.
but his minions come to raid and gather.
Very much appreciative of the information. Is there anything we can give you in return?
Good question.
We don't have like an oil can or anything.
Nah, doesn't seem to need an oil can. But
May I help you with some of your what you're maybe looking for.
Give me a. Let's start with a persuasion check to see how well you've done making an impression on the Warforged. I feel you've done well, but let's see how they feel.
Also, I don't know if the Warforged caught this, but Las-Dal in that moment kind of did this. Gave little eyes to the camera as he was preparing to ask his question.
Camera eyes.
26.
26. That's pretty good. So, as part of the conversation, especially when you're asking if you can help, there's a little bit of an extra pause as Mercy is considering asking for your assistance. There are needs for the pilgrims, and there is a matter that concerns me, but I do not wish to trouble the others with it. Could we speak alone?
Of course.
And as they sort of move along a bit, Mercy will pull you aside. I had an ally, a friend, I think. Filch. They were blue and red. I have not seen them since the day of mourning, when all was destroyed. It worries me. Could you look for Filch as you search for your object?
I could do that.
And is he just talking to Las-Dal, or did he pull all five of us aside?
It was Lost-All primarily,
Okay.
but any who wished to come over, they're willing to speak on that. And as they do, some of you get a little bit of a tingle up near the eye. Other you maybe scratch the back of your hand as you realize how deeply hidden this little tidbit is that Mercy must be keeping from the other pilgrims as they're trying to seek enlightenment and meaning. To hold back a drive, to hold back such a thing, must be a fairly serious secret to Mercy.
Do you know where you saw him last?
It was chaos on the day of mourning. I have not seen them since we were scattered, the colossi felled. I feel they should still be within the Mournland. But it changes.
Well, we're going to be searching anyways, Las-Dal. That sounds very reasonable request if we can achieve it.
I don't see why we couldn't look for a friend. So for someone who took the time to give us information. If we do see your friend, where would you like us to send them to
They
meet you?
they can find us at Ayalos. And she gestures up to the town again.
Okay. Yeah. Be more than happy to. Thank you for entrusting this to us. I assume there's reasons why you don't want to trouble the others, so we will keep it to ourselves.
Thank you. We search for meaning and direction, but this distracts.
I see.
Do you wish to accompany us to Ialos?
What does everyone say? Y'all want to just travel with them to Alos? It'd be a bit safer and
Yeah.
Yes. Perhaps we may learn how they navigate this place.
ooh, good thinking.
Yep,
I did want
sounds
to
good.
ask, just is there anything in these lands we should refrain from doing or saying that would generally be offensive or off-putting to the people of the Mournlands?
Robots are stupid.
Robots are stupid would be a bad thing. I don't know what you did, but you've gained favor with the chat for the DM. The DM's got a reroll now. But
Almost a drink right there.
I think Mercy. Give me an insight check.
Alright. 25.
There is little here. Charity is admirable. Refusing charity is offensive.
Mhm.
Importance can be given to anything. Respect importance.
Sounds very reasonable. Good kind of rules to live by in any plane. And I believe we'll all travel with you.
Right. And with that, you sort of all start moving along together. As they travel, uh, the only trick they seem to be doing is marking a straight line using their own marching order. So it seems as though by maintaining a straight line and sort of marching in the same direction, they're avoiding some of the pitfalls of choosing, your own paths and your own steps. It does cause a little bit of concern if you don't want to step in muck, though. Given that they have no flesh to be torn by thorns, briars, that sort of thing, they will straight line through things that other people would probably want to step to the side. But in an amount of time, you would arrive at Ialos.
While they were all walking, Las-Dal would be playing music to pass the time and maybe help it not feel like it's taking forever for the walk.
Sure. Ialos is a ruined town. A windmill towers above the ruined village. The windmill's sides and blades are reinforced with badly rusted steel plates, and the attached wooden outbuilding is in shambles. Muddy roads separate the mill from the ruined buildings. In the center of a nearby intersection stands an eroded stone statue of a humanoid draped in colorful scraps of cloth. As you approach, Mercy indicates the founder and then towards the windmill. Ialos.
Do you live in this place, Mercy?
I live everywhere I am.
Damn, there's so many words of wisdom just for life by these guys.
Trying.
While walking, Las-Dal was singing, "I will walk 500 miles. I will walk 500 more."
So the founder is in a different direction than the town. It's like a statue that's outside of the town.
No, it's very close. So basically, you've got the windmill here, and then just a few steps away, you've got the statue of the founder.
Oh,
And one moment here. Let's bring us to Ialos. Are we on dynamic lighting? No dynamic lighting. Bad dynamic lighting.
oh,
See Captain America shield.
so when he said the windmill was the town, it looks like people just live inside the windmills.
So, people. When you
Or-
say people, do you mean Warforged?
Yeah, any sentient humanoids.
So, you don't really see anyone beyond the Warforged in this area. With the group that Mercy has led over here, you probably have spotted 8 or so moving about. Those that were walking with you have now headed over to the mill itself and are heading into this room here. This room over here. That's not going to show you. How about like that? This room over here. So we've got the founder statue with what used to be kind of a crossroads here. You can see what was left of the roadway there. Statue right there. And then up over here is where those other 4 are headed. And Mercy explains they're going to place the meaningful objects that we have found for consideration.
Is it true that your people do not require sustenance, food, drink, sleep?
That is correct. We do not need
You're just
food,
full of questions.
drink,
All,
sleep.
all you require is this docent, which gives you meaning.
We are looking for meaning. We believe the docents provided guidance. We seek meaning and guidance. There are
Now that we're closer in,
Mhm.
are we getting any different reading from the rod?
no, the rod is still all over the place.
Okay. Helpful.
A hypothetical. Were a band of travelers to pass by with a large shipment of these docent, and they did not wish to part with them or trade for any of this rubble, would you take it by force? I seek to understand your people.
Give me an insight check.
Wow. Far
That's
more
pretty good.
insightful than I expected.
Yeah. So as you ask that, it Mercy's got a hell of a poker face. I mean, when you're, resting face is set in steel. There's, not a lot of emotion to read. But
It's like super intense Botox.
yeah,
You're
just,
so
just
solid.
so there. But you still manage to ask enough questions that there's a physical reaction, a discomfort to what you are saying. And Mercy responds, "No, there are others who seek to take from us. We resist as we can, but we would not take from others."
See.
Who's trying to take things from you?
Those from Siren watch greedily, but they do not act violently. Those from the Lord of Blades are violent, regardless of greed.
Are these all Warforged factions as well?
No, those from Siren are as you are, gesturing to the party. The Lord of Blades employs many. Both Warforged and humanoid.
Well, that is a very honorable and kind way that you all live. I don't know how much we'll be able to help, but hopefully we can provide some, and help you find some meaning, find that meaning you're looking for.
Thank you. You require rest. And it has been
Yeah,
8
Is
to
that
12
is that a
hours.
question? Is that a question or statement?
Both.
Got me
it is
there.
a non-rhetorical statement.
Do you wish to rest here?
If we can do so out of the way, everyone, I'm good with that. Anyone have any objections? Montgomery, Duren.
No, this is a good place to rest.
We have a place for rest. And with that, Mercy would lead you inside the mill. The mill has crumbled down quite a bit, but there are still stairs that are able to lead down to a basement. In the basement, you can see that bodies of now non-functioning warforged line the walls. Each body is carefully secured to the wall in a dignified pose, back straight, arms crossed, head slightly lowered.
Immediately chain Loktar to the stairs so he cannot get anywhere near any of those respectfully put away bodies.
You can rest here. It is quiet.
Thank you very much. The only other thing was, do you know who else we could speak to who might have other information regarding the object we're looking for? If there's anyone who may have traveled different directions than you that is here.
The veterans from Siren can be conversed with. Those who follow the Lord of Blades, best to avoid.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mercy. I very much appreciate it. It was wonderful getting to know you and your people.
You are welcome. And with that, Mercy would head up if there were any other questions you can ask. But Mercy would head up, leaving you with some restful, if slightly maybe creepy space.
What do y'all think? Should we look to go towards then the siren? I mean, there's a good chance this Lord of Blades has uh, interest in gathering things like the rod, so he likely has some knowledge, but more dangerous to try and cozy
so why
up
not?
to.
I think we should go talk to the Watchers first, right?
So those that
And at
watch
least
would
get.
be the veterans from Siren.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, we're talking about the same thing.
Yep.
Yes, if nothing else, it would be advisable to gain more allies before we have to confront the Lord of Blades, should it come to that.
Was there anything you all saw that you wanted to go investigate first? I know we're on time here, but if there's something that really mattered to somebody,
I would like to bring the lady some lore if we could find some. Perhaps one of these docent, if they have one they'd be willing to part with.
is that why you were asking if they would kill us to get a whole bunch of it? Because you did make it sound like we were walking around with a cart full
Oh.
of docents.
I did not mean to imply such a thing. No, I compare other cultures to my own to see how they function. I'm on a quest for meaning myself. Were my people to see someone with a box of
Anything?
flesh, perhaps we might go to lengths to procure it.
What about you, Montgomery? Anything
But it is
around
hard to
here?
imagine.
Sorry,
Hello.
please continue, Oktar.
Oh, it is only a life with no need of food or drink. It is hard to imagine this.
Not for one of us. He looks at Montgomery pointedly.
What are you implying?
Hmm.
Oh,
We all
thinking
had.
somebody may have you I would hate to say a leash at home, being taken care of. As I set a bottle of wine out.
Fortunately, like looks at the wine and looks at Montgomery. Let's drink. Drink and tell us
Yeah.
more about your wife.
If you're offering a drink, I'll definitely have a drink.
I'll have a bottle right out for you.
Well, I mean, it can't have the whole bottle. I mean, the whole point is having a drink with everybody.
Oh, take a sip and hand it around.
Okay.
Everyone drinking, or is anyone skipping out?
I'm skipping out. I am not a drinker.
Duren
That's
just
not
kind of.
surprising.
You
I'll
just
said
go to
partake
sleep.
of Duren's share.
Not surprising. Not surprising at all. So, what is it you guys want to know?
How long ago did you meet your missus? I've started playing like a light little tune.
It was after we all first gathered, right? Where we met and we worked together for almost a year, and then we traveled our separate ways. I went off to Cormier to try and join the war wizards and stuff, and that's where we met.
Was she a war wizard?
No, not at all. She's just a normal, everyday townsfolk. No
I think
magic, right?
think
It's
she
so
hit you with
relaxing.
a spell.
Sure,
I
she's not a
mean,
bard because she charmed you.
is that what bards do?
Fortune, like Fortunately, like 1/4 of a bottle in, not even that much.
I think, yeah, at that point, you're kind of cut off. I'm gonna hand it back to Montgomery.
He just curls up into a little cat ball.
Bards have a reputation of flirtation. Yeah.
I don't think she's very flirtatious. No. No, she was a
This is good.
tough.
You've left
Yeah.
her unattended for some time now.
Yeah, I don't like doing that either.
Wait,
I
I didn't
worry.
say
I
we
worry.
were man whores or we played around. There's passion to being a bard. A lot of us put it in our music. Others put it into other methods.
But it's all about performance.
Exactly.
And magic to
I
enhance
think
that performance.
Big jihad.
And so, as
where we're
the
gonna look for this rod at, right? We seem to be lost in a direction here.
There's a few places to go back and forth to. Don't think there's much we can do unless we knew we were close and someone had a capability of searching for it specifically.
Might there be some way to deduce why it is directionless? Or perhaps find some pattern to the movements that is meaningful?
I think that falls under the category of wild magic.
sure, as
I
you're
could
kind of
sit and-
as you're pondering that, you've heard several times that the docents provide guidance and navigation. If they are as they're described to be, they could potentially be combined with the effect of the rod to break through the muddling effect of this area. But you would need a working docent.
I would ask Mercy where a working or functional docent may be found, or
Sure.
where they are found.
The well, I'll save you the voice for the moment. The Mercy explains that those that have been found in the colossi are dormant or broken. We have not found one that provides guidance yet. And you get that as both a spiritually, they have not found their meaning, and they have not given up on this because they have not found one in good condition to decide that this is either foolish, philosophical, or not going to work.
Where are these docent constructed?
They were created with the colossi and the warforged in the great cities before the day of mourning.
That was long ago, I take it.
It was not long ago in years, but it is long ago in the history of this place.
And do you know of anyone who has a docent or something like it?
Those that we have gathered do not function. We have not found one that provides guidance.
Is there perhaps a living colossus that we may procure one of these docent
not one that we are aware of within the Mournlands. And you can kind of, like, if there was one moving around, you would see it. It's a skyscraper. And so as that conversation kind of comes to a close, the evening passes, the wine's been drunk, we've learned about relationships and such things. I think the next day there was a goal to go and try and meet some of the those who've been keeping an eye on town, the veterans from Syrat. Is that correct and fair?
Yes.
Yes.
And it is not long after you leave town before you are greeted by those very folks. Seems they've been keeping an eye on you. And as you head out and make yourselves obvious, they approach as well. Now, they don't do this within the town, but the map's here, and it's convenient for me. An orc woman gets your attention as you're making your way. A little, hey, over here. She keeps her hands in sight. You can see that she's equipped for combat. Her cloak looks like it would blend in with the ground around here fairly well. She's got a crossbow on her hip, blades at her sides. Friendly?
We try to be.
Depends. Are you friendly?
Trying to be.
Then I think we're good.
All right. My name's Calith.
Hey,
What-
Dip.
Calith.
Okay.
Calith. What were you all doing with the Warforged?
You know, just figuring out the meaning of life.
From those rogues?
They're philosophers, not rogues.
Well, they left the army they were made for, so they're rogue.
Rogue 2. I see. They've gone rogue. Not that they are. And he just like flashes daggers. Not that they are rogues, and then puts them away.
They
I
don't
was
know what
thinking
that
the
means.
same thing.
I think you're using a verb as a noun. They're an adjective.
He's
Barbarian, mostly.
We just all introduced by our class.
I'm a paladin.
All right. Well, that's Grayson. That's Dortle. And as I said,
I'm
I'm
in
Calith.
love.
What's
Which one of these three? How are you going to tell your or your wife?
No, I'm in love with my wife, not these three. What are you talking about?
Why are you telling me
You
that
just
you're
looked
in
at
love?
him and said, "I'm
Well,
in
you're
love."
all telling what your class is, what you do. I'm
Is
just
your
saying
class
what I
love?
do too. Of course, I love everybody.
We love you too, Montgomery.
See,
okay? Starting to put together why you were hanging out with the philosophers.
we got a open mind.
Well, since they don't eat, I figure they didn't offer you much. You need a food?
We'll take
oh
it
yes,
if you
I'd
have
love some food. Oh yes,
What you want in return, if you don't mind my asking?
Conversation
well,
at the
our good
moment.
company. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that works for me. Fortune goes very quickly from standoffish to let's go have a nice time.
And they kind of walk over like the next little rise down to where they've got a little campsite set out. So, we're members of the Turquoise Spear. Used to be our platoon. We come out to the Mournland looking for relics.
These relics the same as the docents that the Warforged look for?
They can be. Those docents, as you're saying, sell for a pretty good price. A lot of folks trying to rebuild
What's a pretty good price?
enough gold that it's worth coming out here, getting them, and going back.
Because
Couple
I
of-
got a crystal longsword calling my name.
Well, if you can get
Like
those
we're all still
docents,
drunk the morning after.
I didn't drink. I'm sober, baby.
Oh yeah.
This is just how he is. So
just how he is.
Contact buzz.
Well, those treasures do rightfully belong to living, breathing sirens. Warforged have no proper claim to them. However, there's not enough of us, and we're not willing to fight those things that were built for battle.
Why not? That's what makes you better. I mean, if you die, you die. But if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. How you think I got here?
Probably not by fighting Warforged. There
Well,
may
I was in jail for 150 years. And it didn't kill me.
she
I
sort
would
of,
also say it did not make me stronger, but
sort of holds her head for a second there. I think maybe I've been beating around the bush a bit much here. Openly proclaiming yourselves rogues that have been in prison for hundreds of years.
No, that'd be just one of us.
and I'm not a rogue, I'm a paladin.
We've
Rogue.
we've grouped together under a common
Peace.
issue. And what brought us here, and I'm gonna do the illusion.
Mhm.
We're searching for an item to continue adding on to a staff to help us with a god who's got a temper tantrum going on. A wannabe god.
Oh, I haven't seen
Can
any.
we throw around Vecna's name? Like, I feel like that would really like put the fear of.
They wouldn't know who Vecna is.
You sure? He's done some pretty crazy shit.
He's done some crazy stuff.
might be worth a try. We haven't really
Yeah,
ever dropped his name. We've always kind of beaten around the bush.
He's not Voldemort. He's Vecna.
Yeah, it's not like in his stat block he has the ability to hear his name when it's spoken.
Yeah. Vecna.
What? No. And
Don't call this number again.
and thanks for not reversing the charges. But
Oh, man. I don't like it when Kizzy gets that smile on his face. That little smirk.
Caliph is sort of those docents are going to easily be worth 250 gold each. But
That's it?
what do you mean that's it?
You heard me.
I did, but I don't understand you.
He lived in a tree for 150 years. He doesn't really.
That means I
understand
gotta find
economy.
16. 16 to get my sword.
That's for ones that don't work, correct?
Correct.
Oh,
Do you
for
know
ones
of a
that do
working
work.
one?
No, but I imagine that would be worth an incredible sum.
A tremendous amount. That would allow navigation through the Mournlands.
Oh, shit.
So,
You know, there's nothing more I love than a perfectly timed butt, and then you stopped. It's like a spoon being dipped in some soup. Go ahead, bring that soup to my lips.
that is an incredible analogy, and I love it.
But
But what?
you kept saying butt like you were gonna like reveal something or say something, and then nothing came.
Well,
The
you
spoon
he
was
was-
dry.
you superseded it with the chance of a working docent. That would be worth thousands upon thousands of gold to be able to navigate the Mournlands, to be able to bring a lightning rail through here.
But first, would using a docent cause it to like how limited do you think one would be if it were active? Like, could we use it for the purpose we required it of, and then it would still be functioning that we could lend it to someone who it would, or sell it to someone who would be worth money or perhaps a great cause, like building a lightning rail, as you said. That sounds incredible. I'm assuming it's transportation.
Oh yes, of course, the fastest way to transfer, like lightning.
Fortune's draw just kind of drops a little bit. I want this.
We do as well. To be able to cross the Mournlands in speed and safety, trade could reopen with the far side.
Time to become rail tycoons.
But
There it is
is
again.
this just a fantasy? Or do you have some insight that there is a working docent?
Well, I mean, we don't really have anything to prove it, but we tend to be pretty lucky when it comes to finding things like that.
I think
So
Who
if
would
there's
pay?
one,
Who would pay
Yeah.
250 gold for a broken docent, and why? Do
In
they
the-
seek to salvage parts from the various broken docent and fashion a working one?
Exactly.
So such a thing may be possible, or
They may be, of course.
is possible.
They seek the knowledge that was held back by the guilds and lost in the destruction of the cities.
And if you had a broken one of these, who would you sell it to?
And she names off several buyers in the high-ranking guilds that Casey doesn't have in his repertoire, but she does. And also, hey out there, Guild Superior, thanks for the raid. We're playing some Eva Vecna, and the party's currently deep in the Mournlands. Eberron, whose city names I don't have on tap. But somewhere in that city, there is a guild who would very much like these docents so they can reverse engineer the guidance systems that once kept these colossi able to travel straight lines, moving all that bulk even through the magical disturbances that now inhabit the Mournland. So, Calith says, if you could bring me the ones that they have stored, we could certainly make a deal here.
These
But,
Warforged?
say it again?
You mean these Warforged?
These
who
Warforged,
are our hosts?
they are,
Yes.
but they have no
You
need
would
for
have
them.
us burgle their supply of meaning and bring it to you for monetary gain.
You did mention a lot of roguery and imprisonment, so I was under the impression that you were open to such ideas.
Just because I was in prison doesn't mean did something bad.
Ah, perhaps you come from somewhere that has a different justice system.
it was the Underdark, I believe. Not exactly a justice-filled place.
No, I come from the Fey realm. I was put in the Underdark as part of my imprisonment.
I'm going to need to make notes.
Well, Las-Dal is taking notes to try to keep track of this as well.
But
There's something about you that makes sharing easy. We have told you a lot about ourselves in a short time.
you have, and I appreciate it. And I hope the food is, worthwhile. And it's hardtack and rations, things that have basically been carried in to the Mournlands as this area is
Okay.
blasted and twisted.
Okay, I got a question.
Sure.
Do the Mournlands does the land offer berries, small game, water, and so forth?
No. Everything that you've
Okay.
tried to has been spoiled, poisoned, or is just awful.
Okay, good. Because, well, then I can't find us food reliably. But I
Correct.
do have an excellent memory for maps and geography.
And it is driving you nuts right now. You're like, this should be 20 paces from the tree, and every time you go and go back again, it's a different number of paces.
Yeah.
It's like that magic staircase, different number of stairs up and down. The whole
I like
Mournlands.
that's what's causing me to like I'm like losing my edge on keeping to myself because it's such a bother that I'm starting to crack a little.
And Kalis sort of right there with you. Look, I want to get out of here as much as anyone. A working docent would be amazing. But those others would be enough to supply my company and cut you in for a generous share.
What we talking?
Well, from what we've gathered, they're going to have at least 8 or 9 of them by now from the colossi that we've seen them harvest. They may
Okay.
have more.
Can I do a quick
Do
check
not wish.
here? Basically, Fortune wants to see if he can connect the dots. If their footprints are the ones he saw along with the Warforged along Colossus, like they're the ones who are kind of going
Sure.
behind the scavengers.
Give me a quick survival check. 22 is pretty good survival check. So, Grizzin and Dordle, who are both halflings, would definitely have that sort of light-footed step there.
Are they perhaps Lightfoot halflings?
They could very well be.
That is a type of halfling.
They
right?
are.
Yeah.
They are. Though given that we're in Eberron, I think they probably are marked halflings, but depends on where that one is.
I think Fortune, and I should trigger this now here, with the Psychic Whispers will kind of reach out to the group and just, I mean, I don't think betraying these Warforged would be a good thing, both morally or for us. I mean, they helped us out quite a bit. If they
Yeah,
don't
I
hear
want
who we
to.
were
Can I make
into.
like an insight check to see like do they have good intentions or they're really just for their own gain?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Alrighty, here we go. I get a whopping +0.
14.
Okay, not awful.
So Fortune's bringing it up, and as Fortune's kind of saying, hey, they've helped us out. They did. They gave you a place to sleep. But Duren would probably be able to see a little bit both sides of the coin. They are looking for money. They're here to harvest resources. But arguably, the docents aren't doing the Warforged any good, and these living creatures will die if they don't have money to buy food. So, yes, they are in it for mercenary purposes. They're here to gain money and loot, Duren. But you would also at least acknowledge the fact that they need food.
They're kind of just more worried about themselves than the overall being. Like they don't give a fuck about the Warforged.
They haven't
Seemed to,
used violence yet.
so they just said they were just afraid of. They said they just didn't have the power to fight them off. So they're kind of trying to recruit us to be the muscle for them.
What if we weren't the muscle? What if you just went in and borrowed them?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Or-
persuasive. I
Or
just
that.
give a
Yeah,
glare.
we could just ask them for them too, right?
Yes, I like this approach. I seek to right the errors of my past. Robbing these pilgrims does not sit right with me.
Yeah, I mean, if if we want to ask, I have no objections to that. I will not steal from them, not after they guided us and gave us information, but
But they didn't feed us.
well, that's
Yeah,
Just
true.
saying.
It's like, do we care enough about the Warforged that we're not going to miss them if they die, or do we have like it's so morally wrong to kill these beings that don't feel?
One's looking for a friend who's probably dead, so I think there's more
Eh,
to than the surface. But also, like, have you checked everywhere for any of these docents? Is there a section of this land you have not checked?
Yeah, like if you've been checking for like 50 years, I don't think you're going to find one.
No, we've only been here for about 2 weeks. You
Oh.
can only survive in the Mournlands with what you carry in, so our supplies will run short fairly quickly.
So we're assuming that you have followed around it to some of these giant colossi.
Yes, we've been checking the Colossi. It took us a while to see how the Warforged were extracting the docents and where they were located. Each of the Colossi seems to be a little bit different. All that we've been able to search, we have not found a docent, but there are many.
You know of a single docent in existence, perhaps in the possession of some wealthy individual or powerful leader. Perhaps this Lord of Blades we've heard tell of. May he have one?
He likely
Perhaps we could
would.
procure that.
I certainly wish you luck, although I would advise against it. The Lord of Blades is, as his name suggests, he has conscripted, recruited, forced most of the Warforged into his army. They are as deadly and feral as the Warforged were during the war. There's no veneer of civilization like you saw in those rogue Warforged. They are forged for war.
Then why do they behave this way?
That would be a question for the artificers and smiths.
they're just living beings. I mean, searching for meaning is what most of us do.
They're not really alive.
I think that's a matter of perspective. They're not living beings, but they are alive.
I
I've
don't
heard
know how that sentence works.
Meditate on that, and then I just go invisible.
What?
I've heard tales of my people from the humans, elves, and other such folk. They make us sound like mindless beasts. They know not that we are people, for lack of a better term.
But
yet,
you are
There I
living.
stand before you.
You live, you breathe, you eat, you age, you die.
Hmm.
You make little versions of yourselves. That's living.
Yes, this is something I also am curious about.
They don't do any of those things.
These Warforged, their
They are
number is limited to however many there are now. They do not replicate or reproduce in any way.
no, they are made. They are forged.
Mhm.
They still care for one another and work to find out their purpose as those who. I mean, there's no wars happening, right? It's just pretty much a free for all these days. It seems, at least in the Mournlands.
I suppose as much as my dish rag cares for the plate that I'm using to wash it.
I think this is just going to be personal opinions, and that's not going to get us anywhere. Back to the docents. Is there an item, an object you use or can be used to locate them?
Nothing within the Mournlands functions that way. That's what the docent would provide, a method to cut through the residual magics and the confusion that was cast in this area during the day of mourning.
I'd like to hear about what was cast and where was it cast.
So Kalith would give you sort of a let's try and think of a way to say this one.
Where was it originated?
What sort of an explanation akin to one of the soldiers describing Hiroshima. Like the city existed for a long time and then it didn't. And as it was engulfed in the magic and everything, there were people, lightning rails, and such trying to escape that was overtaken and just swallowed by the magic. It was on such a grand scale that they can only describe it as then the city was gone and the Mournlands were here.
As we've been traveling around, have the pieces for the rod, have they been moving faster spinning around or just a slower rotation around?
Uh, us, they, it's, it cannot get you closer. So it does not seem to know how to convey that information to you because it doesn't seem to have a pull
I mean,
beyond
like, is
this.
there any interference becoming greater, exerting more force on them at
Um,
like when you're getting closer to your
right. So
center?
like a repelling magnet kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
The Morn lens is effectively repelling the resistance is there. Once you get away, you can tell that hey, it's somewhere in this area, but the Morn lens itself is rejecting that sense. So it could be top left, bottom right, you can't tell. Trying to get close to the circle, you just get pushback from the effect itself. Now that's going to display itself different ways depending on what you're trying. If you do the dowsing rod tricks, they just go crazy. If you're like hanging on a string, it's kind of spinning, but there's no deduction you can make to say, hey, it's more or less in one direction. Once you're in the Mournlands, it's just not detecting properly.
Okay.
I should like to ask the Warforged if they would allow us to take the docent. They may have no use for them, as they are not functional, and do not lend them the meaning for which they search.
You're welcome to try, Kayla says.
I think we all agree we can
Hmm.
ask And if they say no, that's acceptable. Maybe we can convince them, tell them that we hope to use these to perhaps procure the creation of a working dosage. Any objections? I'd rather not do anything forceful, but
I currently
If any
don't
of the
see
rest of
anything.
if any of the rest of you wish to rob them and take them by foresight, it would not stop you. I'm not
I think.
I just wish not to participate in such a thing myself.
I think maybe we explain ourselves to the Warforged. Maybe if they know the need is for these veterans, they only want them so that they can have money to buy food and supplies. Now I understand that like the they're considered sacred to the Warforged, but the Warforged don't necessarily know. They're just guessing because they don't know the meaning of
just
their existence. So maybe if we can convince them that it is okay to give up the docents.
just remember that importance can be given to anything.
Yes.
Well, then I think we need to really try to persuade them. Because I'd much rather do it the easy way than piss off a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
I think that you're stealing precious, basically like God, idols of their God.
Yep. And there's no guarantee, and this is through psychic whispers, there's no guarantee that they wouldn't then just kill us after we've exhausted ourselves against these Warforged and take it for themselves entirely.
Correct.
Not necessarily the case, but we can't rule it out.
I think diplomacy is the better option here.
And if not,
You can't just throw a spear at everything and hope for the best.
Yeah, Logtar.
Yeah.
I do miss your Morning Star.
Yes.
All right, so we want to go chat with the Warforged here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would it be Las-Dal? He seems close.
I can go to. I have a plus 14 to persuasion.
Oh.
Now, granted, my persuasion's more like a grunt, and if you're gonna do this, look.
that would be intimidation.
Well, I'm pretty persuasive with when I'm staring down at you.
I wonder if charm person would work on them.
This could be one means of determining if they are in fact people.
Okay, I say we do the talking first. If we got to bring out anything else later, we'll bring something else out.
I vote we just accept their answer.
Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Let's see what happens. So
okay, I would like to talk to somebody.
So hang on, we gotta see what happens. And what happens first is the Mournlands does its thing to you. You are only 35, 40 minutes walking in one direction. As you turn to walk back the other way, it's 3 hours have passed, and you're like, how? How? Breakfast was 45 minutes this way. You're now 3 hours coming back. As you're coming back, I need a volunteer to roll me 1d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would like a 6.
Oh,
you would,
okay. I remember. Somebody
all
didn't.
right, I'll roll.
You would like a 6.
D6, you said?
A d6. You would like a 6.
Wow.
A 6. Well done. Please arrange yourselves in whatever marching order you might be if you were walking to the north.
I'll go
Like-
first.
Look, Tower. Oh yeah, all right.
If
Yeah,
you're
you
in
got
front,
the-
and then we all
you
single
got the
file
re-
behind you.
You got the reach, so you could
Sure.
peer down over my shoulders.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
that looks good.
And I'm just going to scoot you down here for mapping purposes. As you are walking along, you hear a kind of a sproink noise. You glance behind yourselves, and just a little bit behind Fortune, something has spun up in the muck. It looks like a line of some sort with weights on the end. Had you been closer to it, it would have bound up your legs. But from where it triggered, it didn't hit anyone. I'm going to need everybody, though, to go ahead and click on their tokens, and
I
roll
see
initiative.
We were 1 through 5, so 6 was the only way to miss.
6 was the only way to miss.
That's cool.
Here we go. One of Nick's great rolls.
Got the rolls going.
Gee, at least it wasn't a 4 like last time.
And I need...
I'm still close to the end.
No, I should have boosted my initiative.
We want one of these. All right. Passive perceptions. Anyone who has a 21 or less
Or 22, actually.
would be
21.
surprised.
Damn, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised.
All
Same,
right.
Even though I got 21.
So I think only Loktar and I are not surprised.
But you both get to go before. Oh, shit. Oh, we got a bunch. Oh, shit.
Loktar, Fortune, you are the two that are not surprised, correct?
Yep.
Okay, the thing that you are not surprised by. A trio of Warforged just rise up out of the ground. They were buried 2-3 inches down in the muck and mud. You've been walking towards them. You've been staring at this spot for the last 5 minutes or so. They don't breathe. They don't need to move. They were holding perfectly still. But still, when they start to stand up and shake it off, the muck falling off of them, when they hear that trigger sound, you're able to respond. Loktar, I think you got the first.
Now, are we back at the? We have or have not made it back?
You
to the
have
town?
not. You are still between the
Okay.
two. You still probably think you've got somewhere between 5 minutes and an hour of walking to go, but the Mournlands is having its time with you.
But it's not like they made an attack and killed all the other Warforged. We're just kind of catching a trap.
Nope. And these are blades out. You can see arm blades on them. They've got sort of crossbows built into their arms. They're currently covered in muck and mud at the moment. Loktar, you are not surprised, so what would you like to do?
This is your chance to talk to him.
I move there, and this one.
I
Okay.
don't think these are.
A follower
These are
of any follower of Hergrek worth his salt knows an ambush when he sees it. I'll grow large and attack this one that looks different, assuming it's their leader.
Okay.
uh,
It does have a bit of an insignia atop it.
Reckless.
Reckless, okay. 25 will hit.
That should be an extra D8 too. Coming up right here.
And that is
thunder, in case that matters. Thunder.
It is thunder damage, okay. Seems to be working.
All right, and again, follow up. Oh, I forgot to activate. I forgot to add the rage to my roll, so I guess it would be +2 as well on the damage in the last one.
Okay, 25 then total. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
That is. Boom. Second hit.
Also a 25, and this time for 23.
And I guess that's. Oh yeah, I get the bonus. Yeah, grim.
And the grim one. Yep.
Whatever it's called, I always forget. There we go.
A 20 will also hit.
Where'd you move to, Loktar?
And that's the last of it. Right here. But I guess it would be from there to here, like this whole area.
Did you hit him from 15 feet away?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got those
Very long arms.
He's
They
Just
just like
quick
not
to
normal
miss.
size, but at large size.
He's
they're
like one
15.
of these guys. He's like one of those at the car lot.
wacky waving inflatable arm man.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Fortune, I believe you are also not
That's it.
surprised.
Correct.
I'm gonna go over my time.
So he attacked this one here.
He did.
Okay. I would like to try. Fortune would kind of like to try and bonus action hide around the pillar here, and then just throw a dagger from essentially off Loktar's side towards the one that he can see. The not the leader that Loktar
Sure.
hit, but the other guy.
Absolutely can give it a shot. Give me a stealth check.
All right.
I think that might be a silly question for you, but I'll ask it anyway.
The minimum is 25.
Yep, you're hidden.
All right. Finally, something I can hide against.
Yeah. $25 to
will
hit. Definitely hits.
Now let's make sure my psychic blades actually do damage on these things. For a total of 26 psychic damage.
26 psychic damage. It all worked.
Perfect.
Fortune, anything else?
No, that's my bonus action in action. He will just kind of stay around this pillar.
All right. With that, can't do the thing that I want to do, so ignore that movement. So instead, what we're going to do is run down here, step in here, and we're going to look at Las-Dal. Las-Dal, as he runs up, is going to start making some attacks. Two-handed blade. Shunk. Attack 1, attack 2, attack 3. Does a 17 hit?
I'm gonna Bardic try to cut that last one down. But
Okay.
the other two definitely hit. So as the first two hit, I go, no, your blade's dull. Don't hit me with that last one. So it drops it by 7, so it's a 10.
10 sounds good.
Okay. Sorry, I was letting my dog out. Could I get an opportunity attack on the guy who came up close?
Wouldn't he already be within your reach?
Yeah.
No, it shortens on my turn. Like on my turn, it's 5 feet longer than it is off my turn, which is really weird. But I got 15 on my turn.
Okay, yeah, then yes, you may make an attack
and then
roll.
10 off my turn. So I don't know. That's like one of the weirdest things. And this would not be a reckless, right? Because it's off my
Correct.
turn.
Standard attack.
There you go.
15 will miss.
Oh, okay. I just wasted everyone's time. Thank you.
Not a problem. Montgomery, I think you were surprised for this round.
Yep.
Duren, I think you were surprised for this round.
Yeah.
Las-Dal, are you surprised? 21?
21 is my passive, so yeah.
Okay. Scout. rushing forward to accompany the boss, gets up here. As he does, we learn something about these particular creatures. They know how tactics work.
He gets friggin' advantage. He get them pack tactics.
He sure
Okay,
do.
Pack.
I do not have my my HP
Right.
accurate there.
Oh, yep.
Give
Get
me
your
a second,
get your HP caught up.
because yeah, my health's a lot better in D&D Beyond than it is on Roll. Sorry.
No worries. But there might be some more math involved because you do have three
Oh,
more
yeah.
attacks coming in now with advantage.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Wow. Looks like 3 hits, huh?
Probably going to be 3 hits
Hey,
there.
I'm over here. You can hit me.
Yeah, all 3 of those smack me. So
As
it's
you
gonna
say
be
that, its head just sort
33.
of pivots and looks at you and just illogical.
I'm trying to have some fun here too.
You can have fun
So
when you're
yeah,
dead.
I go super bloody.
All right. Oh, hey, where'd you go? How did I lose you out of initiative? Get back on there, you.
Oh no.
Yep, we noticed the other one didn't get a chance to go yet. He will, though. He runs up,
He surprised himself.
surprised himself. Focus fire.
Sorry, Las-Dal.
Lost all. 3 more coming in. 1,
Wow.
2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah, down.
Are you shitting me down already?
Down.
After the third one or the first one? Hopefully the first.
I had 20 hit points left, so it is the second one put me down.
All right, so then the
Uh,
third one would hit and give you 2 death saving throw fails.
Yep.
Good gracious.
On the good news side, Loktar, it's your turn. And
I've
these
got
things.
Las-Dal.
Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, just saying that I've got telling Loktar I've got Las-Dal as like Fortin starts rushing over towards him essentially.
These creatures are hardy. I'll strike at the strange headed one again. Reckless. Ah, that's not a very good reckless attack.
That will miss. 23 will hit. Or sorry, 24 will hit for 15.
Yeah. And
Out of curiosity, while getting the crap slapped out of me, do any of these have the looks of what Mercy was giving Las-Dal of his friend?
No, none of these
Okay.
are a blue and red. Um, they have different colorations, but not the blue and red as described.
Okay.
the damage is going to be slightly different on this last one because I don't know why the polearm, like the butt end, isn't showing up on my sheet for some reason.
Okay.
But it's the same except let's see, d6 on that. Sorry.
Yep.
6.
Call it out when you get there.
So -4 of what it said. So
Okay.
instead of 16, it would be 12.
12. Got it. Updated. Fortune.
All right. Fortune will bonus action throw a dagger at the leader, I guess here.
Okay.
Actually, how's the one I hit earlier looking? Does he look pretty much fine still? The first scout?
Yes. It's hard to tell with them as there's no blood, there's no flesh, but these all look like they're still war machines.
Yep, okay. So we will bonus action. Throw a dagger at one. 15 hit.
15 does not hit.
I will go ahead and expend a psychic dice for homing strikes here as he kind of just bends the psychic dagger a little bit more precisely towards the opening in the armor there.
Bending the blade.
So hard to find these actions sometimes. Does a 23 hit?
23 does hit.
All right. For 37 psychic damage.
Wow. That hurt.
And Fortune will run up 10 feet here and use his action to administer a healing potion to Las-Dal.
Okay.
Or one of the greater healing potions. What does it do? Oh, that's his slinks.
Lost
For
all.
12 HP.
12 HP.
Then he will separate himself 5, 10, behind the wall.
Sounds good. As you do that thing, this blender of a machine just keeps going on Las-Dal. Las-Dal is prone. Two-handed longsword coming in with an advantage.
He's just gonna get decapitated.
Yeah, he's gone.
First one.
It-
Second one. Las-Dal is dead.
Ah,
Damn.
It
We
steps.
lost our
I mean,
first.
I had health.
Did have
so
health. Wait, hang on. How much health did you have?
I had
12.
12. So
Oh, wait, sorry. 12. Oh, wait, hang on. It needs another one. So the first one hits you for 18. Does the 18 hit?
Yeah.
the 18 hits, yes.
Okay, the 18 hits. 30 points of damage
'Cause
there.
I wouldn't have gotten my reaction back, correct?
You wouldn't have you had a turn yet since then?
It was the surprise round, so
No, so you would not have a reaction yet.
then no, I don't have the ability to knock that down.
You got it. And then, so it does need one more attack, so it'll use up its third attack on you.
Bondage.
So yeah,
It's
lost all
26
dead.
that'll do it. Then it will look at this scout right here, issue a command, and that one will attack Montgomery. Montgomery arm blade attack on command. 14's probably going to miss you though.
That misses.
Montgomery, it is then your turn.
Oh, this is not good.
I can get him back. I just want to kill this shit first.
No, I got you. I'm trying to decide what to use on him.
Not used to playing at the level where you can just be like, I can get him back. It's like, damn, that's quite brutal. But I guess we do have abilities to bring back in the immediate tense.
So the one that just attacked me, I'm gonna cast disintegrate on him.
Whoa, okay.
I'm gonna at one level up.
You got it. DC 18 dexterity saving throw. He
course.
does pass. Takes half of 85.
A failed save. On a failed save, he would target takes 10d6 plus 40. It says.
And then on the
What
half,
is-
the
I
success
think on
gives half.
successful it's 0.
Oh, no, really?
I think disintegrate is save or suck essentially.
Yeah, it either if it's isn't it if it has less than 100, it does disintegrate.
Yeah.
If you take it to 0, it disintegrates you, I believe. But I think it doesn't do damage on success.
Yeah, it doesn't say because it only says
Oh.
on a failed save. It doesn't say. I didn't
Oh,
read that close
shit.
enough.
That hits his armor and just sort of dissipates. He's very happy it dissipates.
I'm sure he is.
I'm gonna have nothing to help Las-Dal. Feel bad.
It is what it
Duren,
It's
is.
okay. We just need to survive. That's all that needs to happen.
You are
Alright.
up, Duren.
I got my second character in the
Whoa,
works
it's
right
my
now. Don't worry
turn?
about it.
Yep. Unless Montgomery, do you have any other action?
Do you have Misty Step?
No, do not.
Oh, that's right.
Not the place.
Misty Step!
Trust me, I would have dimension
Honestly-
doored like a mother.
Are you kidding? Honestly, it probably would have saved our asses, but
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna do. I don't want to move away and give him an attack of opportunity either. So
You got it.
okay.
Duren, over to you.
So I am going to bonus action. I'm gonna try, hopefully again. I'm gonna cast compelled duel on the lieutenant.
Okay. That is a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, wisdom saving throws 17. Are you fucking kidding me?
On the nose, passes.
Fine, then I'll just attack his ass. Alright, man. I'm also gonna do. Can I smite on both of my attacks?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack,
29 will hit.
and then I'm gonna do a second level smite, which does divine smite 2d8, so 3d8. So plus an extra 16, so 30 damage.
30 damage is enough. The lieutenant
I killed him?
crumples.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. This ain't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Then I'm gonna
Just a dead body on the ground.
You guys did like 150 damage to this thing. Like, there's a lot of damage output.
Okay, then I'm gonna go, and I'm actually the one that is directly to the left of Las-Dal is the one that's been hit, correct?
The one that is to the left
is
of
it-
you. To the left of you has been hit.
Okay, so then I'm gonna attack that one, and I'm gonna do exactly the same thing.
28 will hit.
Plus my 3d8 is another 19, so 34 damage.
Still standing.
Let me mark off my pots. And that's all I got. So
All right. With that, you have gained its attention. Oh, have you? Yeah, you have.
come at me, baby.
Yeah, you have.
Come at me.
Duren, you got 3 attacks coming in. They are with advantage
on.
from attack tactics. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you want to know which only one hit me?
Oh, you.
And the one that hit me, I'm gonna cast shield,
All right.
and it's not gonna hit me.
As shield is invoked, Las-Dal. You are
So
dead.
my AC is 27 until my next turn.
Got it. The other scout looks at you, sees the shimmery thing come up, and the blade goes, "Why bother?" and shifts down, stepping on top of Las-Dal for that little bit of extra insult to injury, and will then be swinging at Montgomery. Montgomery, 3 attacks coming in with advantage. Let's see if you're easier to hit. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
he hit me with the last one, but I'll go ahead and use my reaction and cast shield so he misses.
You know, Las-Dal.
We're not dying.
It's like the analytical sensors are like, huh, which one of these can we hit? Well, there's only one.
You also
Loktar.
roll like 20 something on every single strike.
Yeah. Loktar, what do we got?
Yeah, just keep smacking this one. This one right here.
Sounds good.
Lord. Hey, nice.
That'll do some
Smack
damage.
him.
Yeah.
24
Get your
for an
foot off my friend.
Yeah, 24 for an opener.
And again.
Do it again. This guy's done. What happened there? 22 for 15, still standing.
All right. And,
Not for
again.
long.
Oh no, terrible on that one. Oh, maybe.
A 15 will miss. Wait, hang on. Yeah, 15 will miss. Loktar, anything
All
else?
Yeah. No, I'll just stay there.
All right. Fortune, over to you.
How high are these walls?
We'll say that those are
Less than
probably
30
10.
feet?
I was gonna say 10 foot, so yeah, less than 30.
Okay. Fortune will climbing speed just walk up to the top and get off my friend. Please move. No, okay, just throw a dagger. He doesn't look like he's ready to acknowledge that and get off of Las-Dal.
Illogical. It is not your
21.
friend anymore. It is now ground.
I can't argue with that. It's so objective.
Ground Las-Dal.
21 hits. Oh,
How do you like your coffee? Is ground is Las-Dal is right
ground is
now.
lost all. Good news. The scout joins you as being part of the ground. So, it's a mixed blend. Fortune, anything else?
Yeah, bonus action, throw a dagger. No sneak
Sure.
attack, but might as well. 27, I assume, hits.
Oh, yeah?
Ignore the sneak attack here, so 7 psychic damage.
You got it.
And then it'll just climb back down the wall.
Montgomery, we're over to you.
I guess I will cast a 6th level magic missile at him.
Oh, okay. Roll a d4 plus 1 and multiply by however many that is.
Yep, that'll be.
So 4 plus your thing is another.
So
what?
it's actually a 3, right?
Okay.
So a 3. That would be 48 points total.
48 points total. Woof. 48 points of force. But. You got it. Bonus action or movement?
Nope, that's it. I'll stand my ground.
Duren.
So you just like shotgun blast with magic missiles.
Yep.
Yeah, he said, you don't like this force damage? Try this one. You like traded out the railgun for a machine gun.
Duren, it's over to you.
Alrighty, I am going to, let's see. So 1d8, 2d8, 3d8, 4d8.
How's this one looking? Like, is he pretty beat up now after the 2?
About half the Warforged it used to be. Which means it's super dangerous. It's now Warf.
Okay, I'm gonna booming blade it
You got it.
for 28 damage. Or it is 19 damage, and then if it moves, it'll get an extra
Got it.
9.
Booming blade applied. Anything else, Duren?
No, because I can't. Montgomery already went, so telling him to run doesn't do anything.
All
Is
right.
it until my next turn or his next turn if he moves? I would assume my next
I think
turn.
it's until your next turn. But at the moment,
But he's probably next. Yeah.
he is next up, and he's looking at you at the moment. He's gonna start trying with the arm blades at you first, Duren. No advantage anymore. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, shit. He hit me with the second and definitely hit me with the third. So that's what, 25 damage?
25 damage.
Probably a little harder. That ain't nothing.
Las-Dal continues to be ground. Unfortunately, Loktar. I need 31 points of damage before its turn comes around again to finish this battle. Let's see it.
Oh, it's
We
gonna
will see
die.
it.
Kill him
Unless
with the
something
weapon
goes
I
terribly
made for
wrong.
you.
There's 13.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not going to do it.
What was that?
Swing and a miss.
There's
I
10,
didn't quite get there.
10 more there. It's
You got
still
that.
there. Fortune.
Fortune will.
Can you do me 8 points of damage?
I think Fortune can do that up on from the wall again.
Yeah, don't make me waste another spell.
No,
That's a hit.
that will not be necessary.
Absolutely.
Wow,
baby.
30 points.
Boom. And with that,
I don't-
things go quiet again in the Mournlands. It's
Okay.
maybe a little disconcerting killing a Warforged. They don't have the things that indicate damage like people would, animals would. They're just now not moving on the ground. They still look as dangerous as they did moments ago. There's not the signs of breakage, the signs of wear. They're just non-functional now. But that's where we'll bring it to a close this evening.
Before we close,
Yep.
I would like to carefully revivify Las-Dal. I would like to make sure that the revivify hits Las-Dal and not the Warforged on top of him.
I think
Gotcha.
we'll move it away.
So what you're saying is you're not gonna let me have Telovere in the same room as the dead Las-Dal.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Okay.
I want Telovere in the same room. Come on.
Save your backup character for another day.
Another
Come
day.
on.
And then
I
obviously
just got him
I
made.
can we say that you could say no, but didn't you say when we beat the Astral Dreadnought that like there was a lot of gold and gems and
Mhm.
stuff that
Mhm.
came out? Are any of those gems enough to cover the 300 gold gem piece that I need for the
Oh, yeah.
Revivify?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
Good, good.
just go ahead and
Wait a minute.
deduct.
Do I have more gems that are?
So you got lots and lots of gems, but all those gems have been calculated into your gold. So you're now
Okay, so I just
300
need to
gold
subtract.
further away from a crystal sword than you were
It's
before.
okay. My 4,000 still stands because I actually had 3,700. I just wanted to make sure I had some gold in case something happened.
Gotcha.
And then while we're here, also because obviously 1 health isn't going to be great for you. I'm gonna. What's your max?
94.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna put my hands on you.
Just doesn't sound right.
And I'm gonna heal you for 60.
Not too
Is
bad.
he?
Welcome back, buddy.
What?
You were grounded.
Yeah, hopefully your face doesn't hurt. There was a Warforged on it.
Oh, no, my chest hurts though.
Yeah.
It looked painful.
That sting you feel. That's
And
pride
then-
messing with you.
And then also, just out of spite, I'd like to firebolt the dead Warforged body that stepped on.
Sure.
I kind of feel like Fortune maybe with the others will
Well, as
not
he's
being able to
blasting,
tell that they're dead, go around and like kind of break them apart to ensure that they're dead.
Rip
Sure.
their heads off.
as he's
Sure.
blasting them with the firebolt, can I make an Arcana check to see if that actually hurt him or not?
To see if
didn't
fire
hurt it,
to see
it's
if
dead.
fire is effective against the Warforged. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, that's why
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't cast fire earlier.
Yeah.
'cause
Go
I
ahead and give me an
wasn't sure.
Arcana.
I'll use this as a learning opportunity as long as you're going to blast away. There we go.
So
23.
everyone
Pretty
blast 'em.
solid.
Yeah, so there are enough components in there that are sensitive to fire. There is some wood components in them, string and other things that the fire is effective.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Yep. So you would guess based on that roll, the only thing you wouldn't want to try would be like a poison. That would be unlikely.
Yeah, that's
to
what I would
work.
assume. Like a steel type Pokemon.
Yep.
No
Well,
poison.
probably necrotic as well, I would imagine, right?
Maybe not. You'd need an active one to test that out.
Yeah.
But the fire makes it burn. So with that,
Fire
Good to
go
know.
burn.
we've quieted things down. You've called Telovere out from where he's in reserve. We'll pick back up next week
Yeah,
as the
Thanks for the help, Telovere.
yeah. He was doing important things and stuff. But we'll pick back up there, revisiting the pilgrims and asking Mercy and their group for their docents. So we'll see how that all goes. Thanks everybody for playing. Had a great time this session. Enjoyed the RP and the banter and such things. Hope everybody had fun too. And if you've been listening in and you like what we're doing, make sure you drop by the Discord. Come say hey. That's where we gather up games to play just like this and hang out and do other stuff. Right now, I'm working my way through a game of Backpack Hero. There's some Hell Divers. There's some Hell Let Loose. There's a lot of Hell-based games I am now noticing. But well, there we go. I'm sure we play some Diablo every once in a while too. Anybody else have any shout-outs other than congratulations again to Alex and welcome to the new member. Anybody else?
I'm
Definitely
glad to be
that.
the first death.
Yes.
The first, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Oh, are you? Yeah, because we only
Yeah, you're
we
the
only made
first
it
death.
first death.
Yeah.
Well done.
First
Uh,
death.
there we
Everyone's
go.
gonna pick up.
And we didn't let you have it, Casey. Sorry.
I'm just gonna keep killing you till I get you all down.
I've got a character already rock and roll right now, just from that few minutes there.
Yep. And it's actually the my Monday night game where we're playing Curse of Strahd. They survived by one player. Everybody else was in stable death at that point. One player made it through out of the
Wow.
5 and managed to pull it together. So it is a week for TPKs, but I got denied on these two. We'll get them next time. Thanks everybody out there. Thanks for the DM reroll. Apologize I didn't get to deploy it, but I was hitting pretty well, and then those shield spells threw it way out of my reach. So we'll get them next time there. Catch y'all soon, and while we do that, let me go ahead and hit the little button here and see if we can find anybody to raid. Ba-ba-bum. Do. Looking. Those look like people. Let's go visit those people.
Peoples.
Thanks, everybody. Catch you soon. Ba-dum-bum.